Hello and welcome to TreeWalker Talks, episode 53. First off, yes, I did take the week off last week, and I am so sorry for that. I just ran out of time, and I had some things going on here in personal life that wasn't making it easy for me to get time to do this. Between that and the youngest is in high school, and she's taking college classes, and the Comp 1 class is horrendous. The teacher's horrible. He makes up his own rules because, according to Harvard, he's wrong. So, but you can't say that. You have to do what he wants you to do, right? So this has been a pain in the butt for all involved. Except for him, of course. I'm sure he gets some kind of kick from it. I don't know. But let's jump in. The title of this one is going to be a serious chat. And we'll get to that. But homestead update. This is a free-for-all. I'm telling you right now, I don't have too many notes. Homestead update. Let's see. I've been working on the duck pens because we're doing two because of how not nice the Drake was. So that way we can put some babies in the other ones. When they get older, we'll try putting them in and see how things go. But the next ones that hatch, I don't plan on... Let me move the mic. I don't actually plan on keeping the next ones, probably. We'll see. If I'm forced to keep them, then, yes, I do use them for meat, or they will be butchered. But if not, I might try to sell them as ducklings. It's getting a little cold. Some people may not want that, but we'll see. That's if any hatch. So far, I've had a lot of duds in this group. Okay, so I've been working on that. Got quite a bit done. Mainly fencing is what I need to do. But I am going to change some things up with the old goat barn. I want to put the rabbits out there, and so that means it's a switching on how I'm going to do the ducks. But hopefully I'll be able to bring you along for that. What else have we been doing out there? The greenhouse has been shut up. It's not done. It's just shut up to try to hold the heat because we have had those cold nights, like in the 30s. Like today, I think it was 38, and we got up to 66. So almost a 30-degree jump. I'm in the squeaky chair. Sorry about that. What else have we done outside? Did some cleaning up. Didn't really get a lot done because the school and other things going on. And this weekend's not looking good either because I have to work Saturday. So I only have Sunday off, so we have to do college stuff. So hopefully I'll get something done. You did see this week the videos I did get up. We did get 5 new baby silkies. That was a surprise. I know the mom was laying on eggs, but I didn't think it was this soon. Squeaky chair, sorry. And she hatched out 5 of them. Well, they were getting kicked all over the place by the other chickens out there. And it's cold, so we brought them in and put them in the brooder. So they're in the brooder. So far, all 5 are doing fine. I think that's about it on the homestead update. I'm going to kind of group some things into the what's growing on here. First, the cucumbers have started, and we're getting some little baby cucumbers on there, so we'll see if we'll get some before it gets too cold out. I have faith in that. The peas, not so much. They're not really shooting off yet. I mean, we've got sprouts and stuff. I'll try to do an update out there. I don't know, they're probably about 6 inches tall, but they just don't seem to be doing that good. So we'll see. Cooler weathers, maybe it'll kick it in. I don't know. But the garden is wrapping up. I harvested pretty much all of the jalapeno peppers off the plants. Ended up with 4.5 pounds of peppers this time. Wow. Picking a peck of pickled pepper. Oh. And the other peppers that I thought were called Christmas light peppers that you could use to make Tabasco, but then I looked it up and they're supposed to be mild. Well, I popped one in my mouth. That was a huge mistake. These are actually called Prairie Fire peppers, and they are hot. Very hot. Indeed, I actually put some honey on my tongue to try to counteract it. Didn't really taste any flavor, but they were hot. So hopefully we get enough of these, and I can try to make some TreeWalker Diablo sauce or something. I don't know. We'll see. And if it's really good, maybe I'll do a limited run and sell some of it. I don't know. Maybe I'll give it out to a few lucky listeners. Comment to let me know. Okay, and that's pretty much it on what's growing on. The Zola is still doing good, but I'm going to have to get it inside because of the cold weather too. But we'll do a garden update. And nothing new planted. Maybe some grass here this weekend. I do need to get out there Sunday and plant my garlic, though. That needs to get done. All right, let me take a drink here. Just having milk tonight. Oh, that's another thing. I am now a week and 2 or 3 days with zero pop. No soda, no pop. Just coffee, water, lots of water, and then milk. So hopefully we stay strong with this. Just trying to do it for health. Trying to get as much sugar out of my food as I can, and we'll go from there. Okay, the main topic. And this is all I have. No notes on this whatsoever. This is just off the top of my head. Okay, as many of you know that I've told before, I try to keep all politics out of the podcast just because I don't want to get in that argument. Because there's just so many ways you could take politics in that. But I did think that this needed to be brought up. We've got the Israel declared war on the Hamas in the Gaza Strip, and they're going to go in and wipe the Gaza Strip out. I have no doubt this is going to happen. Israel has one of the strongest and most well-trained armies in the world, especially for their size. They don't need the United States' help. They can do this. They've done things like this before, and they're not nice about it. We have the war in Ukraine with Russia. We have wars just seem to be popping up all over. And let me move the mic closer again. I see my screeches is getting a little low. Hopefully it's not too loud. And I thought it should be said, to those listening. Some people don't watch the news, and the news can be misleading at times. We'll leave it at that. Every other world war that we have had has started with lots of little wars popping up everywhere. And then they escalate and people draw sides, and that's what's happened. Now, I'm not a warmonger. I'm not trying to drive fear into people. Nothing like that. But now would be a great time to really start buckling down on your preps, your homesteading, seeds for next year. I know it's kind of late in the year. It seems like this is always when it happens, doesn't it? When things just go to heck, is when the gardens are done and you can't ramp that up. But you can ramp it up, okay? You can order seeds for next year. Tried and true, ones that you know you can grow. Maybe some new ones. If you get... Now, there's 2 spouts here. If you get extra money, maybe you can get some raised beds and get those ready to go for next year. But that's hoping. And I'm not meaning anything bad about that. I just mean that's hoping that everything can grow and stuff. But I think now is also time to ramp up canning. You can go to your store and get food. What I used to do, and I'm going to have to start doing it again, is I would go and get the family pack of chicken, like skinless, boneless breasts. And let me sit up so I'm not squeaking as bad in the chair. Boneless, skinless breasts. I'm going to try to do some videos on this so you see this too. You get those, the big family pack, and I maybe use half of that package for a family meal. A lot of times I'll cut them in half so they're thinner, because I go to Meijer's and they have the all-natural ones, and they're pretty thick. Now, the other half, can it. It's really simple to do. A little bit of salt. Don't even need to add water if you don't want to. Throw it in the canning jar. And right now, truthfully, for stuff like this, one of those electric canners like what I have is indispensable. Because I'm going to do maybe a couple quarts, maybe 4 pints, something like that off of this. And you can just run a simple one in there and be done. You can, set it and go to bed. Every time you go to the store, get something extra. You can can, and I've done it, and it actually turned out really good. Chicken drumsticks. They go on sale. Used to go on sale for 29 cents a pound. Now it's been more like, I think the best I've gotten lately is 89 cents a pound. Those can too. They make one heck of a bone broth in them. So what is great about that is you can can them. You have all that bone broth in there, and then when you pull it out, the meat just falls off, and the bones actually crumble too. Try not to eat the bones. Be careful when you do that. But that makes the broth in there is just delicious. What else? Hamburger. If you're going to have hamburgers, guess what? Get double what you normally would if you can. Like, this is all if you can. These are little things you can do each week. And with hamburger, like I said, I'm going to try to do a video series on this, so hopefully we can help out with questions on that. Hamburger, you brown it first, and then you put it in the jars, and then you pressure can it. And when you do that, it's actually cooked. You can take it right out of there. You can mix sloppy joes with it. You can mix it with chili, whatever you want. I won't lie, ground beef does take a little bit of a different flavor when you can it. At least that's what I think. But it's not horrible. But, use it for stuff like that you're going to add seasonings to, tacos, all that sort of stuff. Because it covers up any of the weird flavor. And that's shelf stable. So, hopefully nothing ever happens to our electricity. But if electricity goes out, that stuff's still fine. It's going to stay there. Rice. From what I understand, there's going to be a shortage of rice because the countries that we mainly import from aren't going to export it because they're saving it for themselves. This has been left over. I haven't seen it yet, but it could be. You could dry can those. I haven't done it yet. I've done carrots. You can get big bags of carrots pretty cheap. And right now, if you're in an area that grows carrots, you can get what they call deer carrots. And guess what? They're still edible carrots. They just don't look pretty. Cut those up, throw them in canning jars. Get some smaller jars. That's what I like. Throw them in there. That's good for soup or stew or, pot roast, any of that sort of stuff. And it's ready to go, shelf stable. I'm trying to think of other things. Right now we have apple harvest up here. Because you know what? A little bit of sweetness would be an awesome thing to do. Make some apple pie filling with some of those apples. Buy local. Support your people local. Buy them there. I think around here, they're like $20 a half bushel. Maybe cheaper. I don't know. I'm actually going to look into getting some of those too. Wish we could get some pears because those would be good to can. Something sweet and nice you can have with it. Green beans, pretty much were shot on that this year. Mine didn't do that great, which I have problems with them sometimes. But maybe you're still harvesting. Maybe someone you know's got a bunch of them. The cucumbers can do some pickles. Beans, it's a little late this year because they're already done. I got a lot of dried beans out there. I'm going to try to can those and make some some shelf-stable cooked beans, like your black beans and that, so you can just take them off and eat them. And like I said, don't have to refrigerate them. That's awesome. Let me get a drink. And don't think you can't freeze things. Freeze them too. If you don't have one, get a vacuum sealer. They're indispensable too. If I could afford it, I'd get the chamber sealer because you can use any bags with those. But not a biggie. I already have vacuum sealer. Works good. Got the attachment for mine so I can vacuum seal canning jars. Why? Let's buy seasonings. You can get them in bulk on Amazon or that. I fill up lots of jars with oregano. I have my own basil. Garlic powder, onion powder. Trying to think of the other things. Italian seasoning, cumin, chili powder, paprika, all that. And you can dry can it. When I dry can it, I do the vacuum seal and it sucks it down. And then I put a lid on it or the band on it. That way if it pops or it comes off, because I have had a couple fail, it's still good. It just might get a little bit of stale, but nothing bad. Sugar. I've got canned sugar in there. Just did the same thing. Flour. You might want to do that. Flour can be a little tricky. It can get bad. Wheat berries. That's what you use to make flour. If you've got a grinder or that, you can get wheat berries. They'll store great. Things like chickpeas. You make hummus with them or put them in stews. Stuff like that. I think we're going to try to do a whole series on, I don't know a name for it yet. Comment below if you think of a good name for the series for canning for self-sufficiency in case of anything. And like I said, I'm not trying to drive anybody scared. Not trying to do anything like that. Just guess what? If something happens, it'd be good to be prepared. And if it doesn't happen, you know what? It's good to be prepared. Back in 2019, I lost my job. I got laid off. Guess what? I've been prepping like that. Just like I was telling you about extra chicken and that. We were fine. We had lots of food stored up in the freezer. We had it stored up in canning. It lasted a good long time and helped us out. So, another thing a lot of people don't think about, I don't use expensive hair care. I actually use Suave Essentials because I think it's like $2. Maybe it's $3 for the bottle. Lasts a long time. Guess what? Buy 10 of those. Put them on your shelf. That's $30. Do one of these things each week. I use conditioner too. It'd be the same thing. Get 10 of those. They last a long time. Deodorant. Oh my goodness. Something happens, you don't want to stink. Get extra deodorant. Rotate them. Say if you buy them 5 at a time, get 10. Now when those first 5 are gone, buy another 5. Put them behind those ones. Rotation's great. Toothpaste. That's another big one. Buy extra toothpaste. Put it on there. I don't remember. They're good at least a year, maybe longer. But just rotate them. You're fine there. Trying to think of other things that I stockpile on like that. If you're worried about it, toilet paper. You know what? I'm not all that worried about it. If I run out of toilet paper, I've got soap, water, and a rag, right? Works great. Water. Keep on hand extra if you like. We've got a water cooler. I keep on hand 4 of the 5-gallon water jugs. We'll rotate them every once in a while. That's not a lot, but it's enough to get you by. When the pandemic hit, Kroger's, which is where we get them, we're out of them for a long time. So I don't know about you. I don't like tap water. If you're more worried about it, get you a filter. You can filter water. We've got a well too. If I have to, I can use a well. I've never tested it, but I've drank from it. So I didn't end up like on the toilet or anything. So, like I said, it was a serious talk. And hopefully we'll get into more in the coming weeks in videos more than just audio. But I want to share it with you. Like I said, not to drive fear, but to strengthen the community. Because I'm a little worried. And I don't let fear rule me, but I'm a little worried about where things are leading to. So, back when, I think it was Venezuela, you'd have to take a wheelbarrow of money to go get a loaf of bread. They said an ounce of silver would buy a year's worth of groceries. You know what? Stockpile a little bit of silver. It doesn't have to be much. Just think about that. If an ounce of silver bought a year's worth of groceries, what about 6 ounces? You'd be set for a while. So it's good to keep a little bit of that stuff on hand. I'm not too worried about keeping cash on hand for the simple fact that, a wheelbarrow of cash couldn't buy you food. Also, don't forget about our feathered friends and other animals. Try to keep food ahead for them, or come up with ways to be more self-sufficient to feed them. Okay, like I said, just wrap this up. I've been rambling on for a while now, and I don't want to stay on it, make people go, oh my gosh, he's a fearmonger or anything. Just strengthen yourself, because there's a rule. Don't take care of others before you have to, number 1, take care of yourself, because if you're not healthy, you can't help others. 2, take care of your family, because that's your support group. Then after that, prioritize who you can take care of. But number 1 is take care of you and your family. So, all right, I hope maybe this hit home with some people. Maybe it's made you think. Maybe it's made you go, you know what? There's a little bit of truth in what he says. Let's start doing a little bit each week, because that's all you have to do, just a little bit each week. Take $10-20 each paycheck and put it towards, storing stuff. It's not hard, especially like if you don't have canning stuff, look on Craigslist, look on Facebook Marketplace, even Amazon. You can get monthly payments with no interest sometimes on some of this stuff. All right, thanks for joining me. I said hopefully this made some sense to you, and hope to see you on the next one. Stay live out there and keep on surviving.